So today I want to share with you guys a really awesome chat that I just had with a Sync Edge member who just got his first acceptance email from one of the libraries that I recommend in the Sync Edge program. Now what's interesting about this particular producer, his name is Inertia, and he's actually gotten quite a bit of success in the artist billboard charting side of the industry. He's actually had a track placed on a Soulja Boy album a few years back. So huge artist, big exposure. He did really well for himself with that placement, and he's definitely worked with other artists as well and done a lot of other things. But what he realized over the years of going through various parts of the industry is that sync licensing started becoming, it started to make more sense for him in terms of creating a sustainable long-term career. Because as you'll see in the video chat that I'm going to play for you in just a second, he felt like he was just sort of stabbing at a bunch of different opportunities over the years. And of course, some of them landed. He got some great opportunities, but nothing was, and he even says it, nothing was sustainable. It was just an occasional hit, an occasional paycheck, an occasional success, but he didn't feel like there was forward momentum or something being built up in his career. He just kind of felt like he was always chasing. If you guys have watched some of my videos or a few of my videos, you know that I've talked about the difference between chasing success and building a career. Okay, they're completely different things. Most producers and artists are chasing. They're just going for these huge pie in the sky pipe dream sort of dream opportunities out there, thinking and hoping that maybe my track will be the one out of thousands that are being shopped or considered that'll get that big placement, right? But a few producers are starting to figure out, and Inertia is one of them, as you'll see, that there's a much smarter and more down-to-earth, realistic, and business-minded way that you can actually build a realistic career, a realistic source of income for your music career. And it all can be done within the sync licensing business. So I actually had Inertia join me for this chat. Unfortunately, as I was going through the video, my audio had a huge echo in it. I didn't hear it when we were doing the interview, so I ended up having to cut all of my parts out of the interview, and I basically just spliced together all of his answers and made it so it sounds like it makes sense. It won't be sort of jump cut. You'll understand exactly his story. But I wanted to at least obviously share that with you guys so you guys are first of all encouraged to know that you can do this as well. There are still students that are getting accepted through the Sync Edge libraries that I recommend. This is in fact crossing my 52nd student that's actually gotten at least their first licensing contract or maybe their second or even third within the program. So obviously I love getting these success stories. I love reading them. And this was, if you're on my mailing list, this was the producer that I sent out the screenshot for actually a couple weeks back. So I actually sent you guys his acceptance email from this library. And this library actually told him they had two options for him. He could either do an exclusive deal or a non-exclusive deal. And they said, hey, if you're going to go exclusive with us, we need 15 tracks minimum, 15. Or if you want to go non-exclusive with us, we need at least 50 tracks from you, okay? So pretty big contract that he landed there. Luckily, Inertia had a large catalog of tracks ready to go because he's been working really hard, making sure that they're licensable. But just so you guys are aware, you are going to probably have to come to the table, especially with Sync Edge, having a full album, 10 or 12 tracks ready to go. 15 is obviously within range of that, but definitely having a full album themed with one particular genre, one particular style that you're really going for, and really know who you're submitting to, right? Not just spamming your music to a bunch of different companies. Sync Edge is much smarter than that. You're going to discover how I recommend each individual company. Right now, I think we're at 36 different companies, so there's a lot of different companies that you can search and decide which one really fits for you and your music. They are broken up by genre, so you can research them that way. And every single month, I have 2 new libraries that I sort of recommend and give you the breakdown, a video breakdown on what's going on in their catalog, what kind of placements they are, what kind of company they are, what kind of clients they serve, and also the level and the quality of music that you're going to have to supply to them in order to become very competitive with them. And this is how you create a detailed, specific pitch to a library. This is what libraries really want. They don't want the spam. They don't want to see that you're just sending the same music to a bunch of libraries to see what sticks. They want to know that you've at least done some research, you know who they are, and you know that your music can really benefit them in their career. These are people, okay? They're not just faceless corporations. There are human beings that work at these companies, and they like to be treated with respect, and they like to be pitched as if you care about working with them, not just somebody in the business, right? This is how you're going to get your first contract in the industry if you haven't gotten it yet. Sync Edge can certainly help you. So after watching this little short bit of interview that I'm going to post for you here in just a second, if you ever want to join Sync Edge, you can do that actually in the description box below. Again, We cut it off at 50 members every single month because I don't want a large rush of producers coming in and supplying basically submissions to all the libraries, especially the two freshest ones that I have every month. That would sort of crowd out the marketplace a little bit too much, and so I don't want, and I definitely turn away people every single month. We fill up every single month. So if we have a few spots left for this month, I would certainly see if you can get on board as soon as possible, but I do cut it off at 50 every single month. So if we're already out this month, sorry, you'll have to wait until the beginning of the following month. But definitely do not put this off. Do not wait. If you feel like your music is ready and you're ready to start pitching and you want to make that strongest first impression with the library, this is the program that you should certainly take a look. So let's get started. Here is Inertia's interview. I hope you guys enjoy.
I've been producing now for about 17 years. I do hip hop beats and also R&B as well. Orchestral hip hop. Like back when I was in high school, people would be like, make stuff to do that epic thing you do. That's always been like what's in me. So I started doing that for a while. I was doing the artist thing for a little bit as well. I had some success. I started putting my beats on the internet back in the day on mp3.com. This was years back. And a guy got signed to a record deal using some of my beats. So I moved to California to work with him. And I was out there for about 3 years. That really started helping me to understand the industry, doing things like that. We had our creative differences, so I moved on, kept making music. I landed my first major placement. It was on Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy, the last album that he put out on Interscope, I did a record on there. So took that money, I moved to Atlanta, kept trying to make it happen. I had some successes, but nothing sustainable. Now that I found what you're talking about in music libraries, I didn't even know these companies existed. It's like, okay. So now my goal, my main focus right now is building relationships with music libraries. Like you said, when you started making it very successful for yourself, you only had about 2 or 3 at a time. That's what I want to do. Like get to 2 or 3 that are players, that have the connections, that are constantly looking for different projects. And I just crank out the music, So that is my main focus. You take the guesswork out of it. Like if I was just trying to do this music library thing by myself, I would have to just try to figure it all out. It's just such a new thing for me. But when I watch your videos, you're like, okay, now look, this is this company. I've looked at their library. This is like what they're lacking in. If you can bring to the table this type of music, I think you can get in. So that's what I did. I just listened. I'm like, oh, okay. So the one that you talked about, they needed the type of music that I do. So I just went in, created a website, and I just basically did everything you said to do, and it worked. Well, thank you for having me, Jesse. I think you have an awesome service, and I'm very glad that I found you.